Peace be upon you. I am Qadi Tayyib, and this is Qur'anomics. This is part 12. From the Islam of the Quran to the Islam of the Hadith, Imam Al-Shafi'i, the true founder of traditional Sunni Islam religion. The title, Al-Shafi'i equalizing his invented Sunnah to the Quran. Although Al-Shafi'i is the theoretical founder of the abrogating and abrogated mechanism, he did not dare to say that the Sunnah abrogated the Quran, which is what those who will come after him did not hesitate to quote him, including placing this saying on the lips of Al-Shafi'i himself. As we said, everything started to snowball and roll after Al-Shafi'i just started it, and everybody else came and built on it. And because everyone believed what he said, so every generation kept on adding on to it. Contrary to what Al-Shafi'i said, the Sunnah does not abrogate the book, but it follows it. It follows the book. Page 106. Despite this, we see Al-Shafi'i in practice abrogating some of the provisions of the book with the Sunnah attributed to the Prophet. The central axiom from which the compiler of the message, the message starts, is that the Sunnah is inspired, just like the book, as all is from God, as his greatest student Al-Ghazali later says. The elevating. The case is that as long as the Sunnah, as the book, is from the revelation of God, as long as revelations abrogates each other, then why the distinction between the status of both after it's clear that monotheism in the source? And why is it forbidden for the divine revelator to the book and the Sunnah to abrogate the first by the second, as well as the second by the first? This theoretical contradiction, which puts the position of Al-Shafi'i inwardly, can only be explained by the sanctity of the book at the time of Al-Shafi'i. In the case after Al-Shafi'i and after the Quranic compiler of the book, the message to the Sunnah became a partner of the book in sanctity, and it became possible to take a step that Al-Shafi'i did not dare to take, because we see now that you talk about the Sunnah, forget it. Anyone would just flip on you, because it's the same thing. You're talking about God, you're talking about Quran, but they don't realize that they're protecting a person's private religion. Simple as that. They don't know that because they've gone too far. So the people of jurisprudence and interpretation rush to copy the book with the Sunnah and reverse the relationship of subordination to declare that the Sunnah is the ruler of the Quran. Something that Nasir Sunnah person that Al-Shafi'i was not daring to say, even if it was found later. Who dares to put this saying on his tongue? We see how, like I said, from the first to second to all the way to the 12 to 13, we see how Al-Shafi'i deviously takes steps into moving the center of religion of Islam from the Quran to the Prophet, and then from the Prophet to the minds of men, to the hands of men, and each of these men have their own different background, their own curriculum, their own standard, and what they can, their input and output. So, and each one over the century, you see, they're fighting each other. Even with between themselves, they still have contradictions. They still fight. They still argue. They still differ, and it's all on the wrong side. None of them will leave the realm of a Shafi'i. None. They're 100% mentally enslaved to the Shafi'i. So anyone that says he's a Sunni, 100% he's enslaved to the Shafi'i. Shafi'i, uh, I mean, Shafi'i or the companions, because we're gonna see the rulings. We're gonna see the other inventions that the Shafi'i came up with, like the companions, similarity, and what the scholars say. We're gonna see all that later on and see how he just. I mean, I don't think anyone could do a better job as in creating this much evil in the name of God. I don't think anyone could do that, but he did it. So we're gonna go on. This is a part 12, and like I said, the purpose of doing short videos is to take a step by step, one by one, how Shafi'i built his religion. All he just laid the foundations, and everybody else came after him and started building on top and top, and we get into it. But for right now, this is what needs to be understood. So I am Qadi Tayyib. This is Quranomics. We'll see you again with part 13.